Welcome back, YouTube. It's me, Theo, of the Theos. Just joking. We're here with a new video. We're going to be showing you how to make a coil for a coil. Here, I'm going to pass you over to my mate, who's going to tell you all about it.
Right, so basically I'm going to be building a new vape build because mine's near enough gone, so I decided to make a new build. And today I've got two regulated devices. I've got the RX300 and this contains 4 batteries. So with 4 batteries in,
do you want to show us the batteries?
Yeah, okay. It carries 4 18650s.
Wow, the Theonators know, look at that!
And basically what this will do is this will just bring out more power, so a lot more smoke will come out. And then my other mod is still a regulated. I'm using the, to build on, I'm using the Smok T Proof. Now this was one of my newer kits, and the things I like about regulated mods is, like, if your battery dies too quick or if there's something wrong with it, it just won't fire. And the things with that is because there's a chip inside. So if you have any problems, just don't press the fire button because it won't fire, and go get it sorted out. Now, so I'm going to start off with by actually taking out the old cotton of both my coils.
Oh, look at that.
I know, it's very disgusting.
Yes, it is, very.
And then
Like my face!
You do that for both coils. Now, see, they're very black and burnt out, and that's not how I like them. I like them fresh. So I'm going to unloosen all 4 screws on the side of them, and then what you do is, then after you unscrewed them, you would slide the coils out. Just give me a second.
So how many times do you actually do this then?
I do this near enough either once every 2-3 weeks, but that just depends on how good my build is. Normally, if they're really good, I can leave them in for a month or 2. It just all verifies with what.
Oh, look
what
at
your
that,
build
Theonators. Ain't they disgusting? Look at that. You proper burnt that out, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, it looks like wet. It kind of reminds me of me when I'm like freaking building, or I get really dirty from working on either anyone's car or something. Now,
As I said, I wouldn't trust you with my car, mate.
Actually, you'll be surprised. Now, some people like to make coils different. I use a coil jig, and that is by Coilmaster. So you basically, there's 2 holes and you slide the wire in, and then you wrap the wire around 5 or 6 times, depends on how big you want your coils.
How many times do you normally do it?
I usually do it around about 6 or 8 times. It just verifies on what I actually want for a build. So, and then I'm using a 30mm, so you would get the 30mm to 25mm coil jig, and then you would basically wrap it around a little tiny bit. Get your coil jig, put it against it, and start wrapping around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, see? And then just bend the wire straight, so that way it's all even. And then that's one coil. Now you have to repeat the process for another one, because I don't use single ones, I use
Double.
Yeah, it's just how I like my mods. I don't like it to use 1. I like it to use 2. I'll pick that up in a second. Just flies everywhere, you know what I'm saying, people? So get in the hole.
Just make sure you come to the camera sometimes.
Yeah. And then you would do that for another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. and then there is your other coil made. Now, and then that's all you need to use for the coil jig. Alright, now also, before you put them in, just trim them a slight bit, like you would normally do. So I normally cut about that much off, or that much. Just depends on how much I'm using.
Remember Laura Jones I told you about? Remember Laura Jones I told you about, yeah? She just fucking tried that to me on Instagram.
Right, and now your disposal you just put to the side. Now I'll need my coil jig to match the wire up to make sure it's both wires are evenly cut. Tell me what you think to the music as well, what's playing in the background.
Have a guess who it is, and have a guess what album it is. Because that's another thing we do on this channel. Guessing games. Might be childish, some people like it, but who gives a shit?
And if it's not your kind of music, I'm very sorry.
Put a comment at the bottom, tell me what you like. I'll try and get back to you. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. So I'm gonna put that on the link down below. So
some people just have different preferences in music. Now,
and tell me if you are all vapors yourself, smash that like button, and let's hope we get up to 10,000 likes. That's my goal.
Because we love that. Now, what I normally do is I like to get my coils not too close to the airflow, but just about above. So what I do is I stick my coils.
Do you want to put that towards the camera, my friend? Or shall I just move it? I'll move it. There we go.
So what I do is I unscrew. If the screws are too close, just loosen them a tiny bit more. Like what I'm just doing now.
As you can see, ladies and gents, there's a nice. There's one coil in there. No, there's none. But look how it is.
No.
Look what it is like when it's no coil.
This coil is going to be going in this little section here. So as you see, that's like too big, too high. So I'm just going to snip it down a little bit more. Try not to drop any wires anyway, you know what I'm saying? That one just went down into my trousers. And then you basically fit it again until you feel like you've got it right. See, that's still a bit too high for me, so I've got to re-snip it again.
And that's whilst my friend's doing that. Back to this. If you are vapors, or you want to learn how to make a coil for that sort of smock,
or just any basically you got different sorts of tanks. You got RDAs, which you do a build on them, but the thing is you have to keep taking off the top to drip them. Which sometimes I feel alright doing. It just depends on what day I'm just feeling up to.
Hold on a minute. But don't do it when you're driving, because it's dangerous.
And then I've got the Kyling RDTA. Now this, you can do a build on it, and then what happens is you slide this cap over the top and you can fill it with liquid, so it works kind of like a normal tank. And then you got normal tanks, which
is mine,
which have just normal standard coils, which you just prep up yourself and put in. You don't have to do any sort of making of coils or anything. Which I give mine to my mate because I just don't use it anymore.
And as it is, yes, it is me, the Theonator, right here. This, my friend, is my new mod. Bought it today. Very expensive. But I'm going to do one shout out, and that is a Vape Sky Blue Vape Lounge. It's a great place, great prices, t-shirts, hats, everything. They don't pay me to do this either. So, if you're down in Cov sometime, go and have a look at it. It's great. Here it is. We're going back to it now. Here we go.
Now I've fit that, and it is the perfect size for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now get my coil jig again, and I'm going to cut the other one down to the same size.
And whilst he's doing that, I'm going to tell you, I never used to vape. I used to smoke all the time. Very bad for me. I do go part-time, part-off. But this is for all the vapors out there. As my mate, Chad, also known as the Chadinator. Chadinator, give us a wave. My mate there, he's been in most of my videos. Done, you remember the salt one, salt challenge, my other mate Kane.
I've also got another thing to say to him as well.
And here we go, the Chadnator has another thing to say.
So
Here we go.
all I'd say is as well, don't buy an RD8 or an RDT8 unless you are an advanced user on vapes, because if you're a beginner and you're going straight to RDAs, it's just very hard to understand. So I would only suggest for only advanced vapors.
So what do you say to people who want to try and make, starting new coil building, what would you have to say to them?
So I would say if you bought an RDA but you don't know how to do a build, go to your nearest vape shop and ask them very politely to actually show you how to make a coil, because they're very nice. Like, that's what they did with me. And then after that, I just went away and started making some, and I've been making them for the last